Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon, sir.
Hope the screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Oh, then. Yes. So we were in the second stage of compilation process. In that, we are at syntax analysis, where we have observed there are three methods or techniques rather that help us to perform syntax analysis. And these three methods can be categorized into two, namely top-down approach or maybe bottom-up approach. We have discussed two methods of these, namely operator precedence parsing. Later, we have discussed about whatever the shift reduce method, which is a part of our push pop of a stack concept. And these two methods come as that is both operator precedence as a shift reduce under the bottom up approach category, what we have in the syntax analysis. Now we are left with another method by name recursive descent, which comes under the recursive descent parsing, which comes under the top-down approach or top-down methodology or technique. So these two, what you have discussed already, are under the bottom-up approach, that is operator precedence parsing and shift reduce parsing. Now we will see recursive descent parsing, which is an example under the top-down approach. Okay. Of course, this is a grammar which you have been using. We might use later as well. So keep this is with. I hope you have this with you. And recursive descent parsing, as we know, which is an example for a top-down parsing, contains procedures for each of the non-terminal symbol. So what you see here on the left-hand side here, they're all non-terminal symbols which are kept in the angle brackets. And for each of them, program name, this is list, type, ID list, statement, assign, exp, term, factor, read, write, all of them which are left-hand side, which is kept in the angle brackets, are non-terminal symbols. For each of these non-terminal symbol, a method or a procedure is written internally as far as the recursive descent parsing is concerned. Okay, and if you observe here the grammar, each non-terminal symbol, let us take ninth one, let us say, each non-terminal symbol will have either terminal symbols or non-terminal symbols. If you look at this ninth one, assign, which is the non-terminal symbol on the left-hand side, how is it defined? It is defined as ID equal to exp, where ID is a terminal symbol because there is no angle brackets here, while exp is in angle brackets, which is a non-terminal symbol. That means further it can be divided like this. Each non-terminal can have a terminal symbol or can also have a non-terminal symbol. In other cases, a particular non-terminal symbol might involve itself. If you look at the term here, term is defined in terms of term again, which is an example for a recursive in nature kind of a type of terms. That means term can be further defined in terms of itself. Then we say it is a recursive in nature. So in both the cases, we have procedures where each non-terminal symbol will be assigned with these procedures internally as and when we get our input being matched to that. At the end of the program or end of the entire input, it is going to find out whether the given input can match any of these non-terminal symbols which are defined here, or recursively it can call itself and make sure that these things are finally point to the one of these non-terminal symbols. At the end, since we know it is an example of a top-down approach, we take the input from left to right and start navigating from the non-terminal symbol till the whatever the input we have. So that is the reason why it is called as a top-down approach. Okay. Now, so as we know, each non-terminal symbol is assigned with a procedure and the procedure can call itself, which is recursive in nature, or it can call any other non-terminal symbols as we have seen just now. And either case, it is going to result or give a return value, either a success or a failure. That means if our input is a valid input, we will be getting a success as an indication. If input is not valid or it is invalid, then we will get a failure indication status. In both the cases, we have a status being returned as a result of the checking. So each procedure find a non-terminal or a terminal. If it is searching for a terminal and if it finds a terminal, it is successful or it is going to be a failure. Okay. Next, if you take for example, how to understand how this recursive descent parsing is given or is going to give the syntax analysis, let us consider the good old read statements of Pascal language, which is read is defined as capital READ followed by within parentheses list ID list. Since ID list is also in angle brackets, it need to be further defined. What is ID list? If you observe here, ID list is defined as a ID or ID list. So it can be a recursive in nature as well. So if you take this, since this is the input now, if I give input, let us say read N1. This is what we have taken in the previous examples as well. If you give read N1, that read N1 will be considered from left to right. So first you will see READ and left parenthesis. Each of these will be called with a whatever the grammar we have written in the rule, and this procedure will be mapped. The procedure what we have for the read here will have these two inputs, namely read and parenthesis, left parenthesis. If you observe, they are not enclosed within the angle brackets, thereby they are going to be tokens. And these tokens will be verified. Yes, they are available as it is because there is no procedure involved here, because procedures are given only to the non-terminal symbols. If you observe here, READ is the terminal symbol. It is not a non-terminal. Then we have a left parenthesis. This is also a terminal symbol, and hence procedure is not involved here. They will be matched as it is. They will be mapped as it is verbatim. So read and left parenthesis are mapped. Procedure will not be called. Now we have another non-terminal symbol here, which is a ID list. Since ID list is a non-terminal, procedure will be called for this. Procedure will be called for this, and data will be taken from this procedure as well, which is either ID or ID list. If my value is read within parenthesis N1, then N1 is going to be mapped here, which is a successful. Then it returns a successful here. Then we have a right parenthesis. So this is success. This left parenthesis, right parenthesis constitute the grammar itself because they are terminal symbols in nature, and hence read will be a successful at the end of the entire procedure. That will connect back to the main procedure, which is the read in our case. So at the end, we'll confirm that the read what is defined on the left hand side is mapped with the input what we have given. Thereby, we say that the given input is a valid input against the grammar what we have. So syntax will be successful. So in either case, we are going to verify. Either case means whether it is input case or a grammar case, the main concern here is the non-terminal symbol which is associated with the procedure, whether it is returning a successful value or a failure value. If it returns a successful value, our input is right. Otherwise, input will be invalid input. Okay, that is just an example to understand how a recursive descent parser will look at the input. Okay, but procedure is very important here because each non-terminal is associated with a procedure. Okay, next. How the procedures look like? The procedures might look like any procedure what I've taken. Probably recently I've taken up for a macro processor, and procedure will have its own begin and end like a pseudocode, and each one what we are going to do with this particular non-terminal symbol. This is like another program, maybe your assembly level language program or high level, depending upon how our compiler is being built or designed, we can have the code for this. So each non-terminal symbol will have a procedure like this. Okay. So let us take an example. Our own example, as you have seen just now, the read. In more practical way with respect to the recursive descent parser, but here we have taken a value, let us say. So read has some number, say, or ID list or ID. So first, it is since it is a top-down approach, we take the read, which is as per the definition. This is the value what we have. So read, okay. Now, two things it is going to have. One is actually this read should be small read. It is by mistake written as a capital. Okay. So read left parenthesis. So that is mapped because that is a token. Then we have an ID list. ID list can be further defined. If you observe here, all non-terminal tokens have been kept in the box here, just to give a information that they're all non-terminal for us. Then we have ID list. ID list can be further defined or further invoke another procedure. Similarly, in third statement or third diagram, we have a right parenthesis coming into picture, and both put together is going to constitute our read statement, which is as per the definition here. Read can be defined as a capital read, left parenthesis, right parenthesis, and ID list. Okay, so just write proper values here, just to avoid confusion. Okay, because everywhere we are using read, capital and lowercase, that should not be there. So left hand side it is read now, which is a smaller case in the definition, and hence we have taken read here. So whatever is given in the rule, we have to follow. Okay, but this is how the diagram is written. That is like a more complex program or complex diagram for the given input. Okay, so this is what is represented there is being taken here. Okay, now let us look for an assignment statement, a recursive descent parsing for a assignment statement. Let us take variance is equal to sum SQ division 100 minus mean into mean. If you look at this, we have to start from first one, sum SQ division 100 minus mean into mean. So this is how the diagram is. If you look at, there are so many diagrams which are coming into picture. So assignment statement is the first diagram, ID1, one by one. If you look at every stage, we're adding one value. So these are all the resultant of the procedures that we are going to call. So everything that is kept in the square box here is a non-terminal symbol. We know that assign is a non-terminal, exp is a non-terminal, term is a non-terminal, factor is a non-terminal. That's it. So a factor finally comes back to the either ID or integer. Okay, so this becomes another set. So finally you get a diagram like this. So if you observe the diagrams how they have been built, all the diagrams are coming from top-down approach. The same was reversed in the case of a maybe your operatic precedence parsing or a shift reduce parsing, where we have we have built the tree from bottom to top. The same example, if you observe, was taken in the operative precedence as well. There the construction of the tree was a bottom up, because OPP, or operative precedence parsing, demands us to consider the inner loop first. But here, since we have a recursive descent parsing, which is an example of top-down approach, if you observe here all the diagrams. So in the examination, to just confuse you, they might ask either operative precedence parsing or recursive descent parsing with the same example. So what is observed here, how the diagrams are constructed. If they are constructed from top to bottom, it is an example of a recursive descent parsing. Or if you are doing the reverse way, that is bottom up, probably it is going to be an example of a operative precedence. Same example. So how do you write the diagram is going to, so you should not have any confusion. Process remains almost same. Since we are writing manually, you will be able to understand and figure out how these definitions are used in constructing the syntax analysis parse tree. They're all parse trees. Okay. So one by one, if you observe, we are going to have this construction of the parse tree in the case of a recursive descent parsing from top-down approach. What is a top-down? Assign statement is the highest non-terminal symbol here. That is why we say it is a top-down approach. Okay. In all previous cases earlier, what we have seen, we used to go to this non-terminal at the end. But here we are starting in the beginning. Thereby, we say it is a top-down approach what we have. So one is the diagram, how it is going to flow. from the top to bottom, that is from root node to the leaf node, and also the non-terminal symbol of a highest definition is assign in this case, and hence assign is used in the beginning itself. So if you come down to the last diagram, you see only the leaf nodes at the end, which is going to be our IDs or integers, which are going to be terminal symbols. All other symbols on top of it are going to be this non-terminal. This is a non-terminal, this is a non-terminal, this is a non-terminal, this is a non-terminal. So they are going to be on top because that's what the parse tree meaning is. And these are all again leaf nodes which are having either terminal symbols or a simple variables what you have in the program. So this is how the recursive descent parsing. So in all the three cases, OPP or a shift reduce or recursive descent parsing, the process may be different internally, but outcome is same. What is outcome? Syntax analysis. Whether the input what I've given is mapped into the grammar that is being given. So we have been taking the same grammar everywhere. This is a grammar we have used in this entire exercise. So this is a grammar. For this grammar, various methods have been observed, but outcome, the result is going to be same in all the cases. Maybe the process internally is going to differ from us. So this is how the process for the shift and what you call syntax analysis is carried out. So this concludes our second, what you call stage of a compilation process. So any doubts till this, probably we can check, or else we'll go to the next topic. Let me know if you have any doubts. Meanwhile, let me check what was asked in the question papers earlier. If anything related to this is there, we can figure out here itself. Meanwhile, let me know if you have any doubts. Any doubts? If you have no doubts, probably you can take this exercise. Let us see how to build this. This was asked in a recent examination for 8 marks. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So take this. This was asked in the last exam. Write the BNF grammar to the assignment statement of C program for the expression and generate parse tree for this expression using the same grammar. Now we have to write the grammar here for BNF grammar. What is the BNF grammar? Backus Naur form of the grammar, which we have defined for Pascal so far. The same process can be done for this. So we have to define the grammar. How to define? This is a assignment statement. It is similar to whatever the assignment statement we have for the Pascal statement, because Pascal and C assignment statements are not different. 99% most of the languages assignment statements will not differ. So just because they have asked in C program, you need not be confused. So what is the Pascal? If you observe, we have taken for assignment statement. Assignment statement here is this. This is the assignment statement. So these four things are going to constitute the complete assignment statement which we have for the Pascal, and same can be used for the C as well. So first we have to think in these directions. This is already given for us, that is assignment is equal to, that is the value here is sum. Sum is equal to A into B plus 50. Since it is given already, for this expression you can simplify this grammar. You can simplify this grammar. You need not have such a complicated one. So assignment statement, ID is equal to expression. This is valid here. You can copy this as well. The BNF grammar for the given statement is assign is equal to ID equal to EXP. So left hand side there is a sum, right hand side there is a expression. So what is this expression can be? So what is given in the question now? It is given that A into B plus 50. So there is one multiplication, there is one addition. So you need not have anything extra. One multiplication, one addition, and they have written a parenthesis. Okay, let us see how this can be done. Now, what EXP can be now? EXP can be a term because there is one value at the end. Later, followed by EXP plus term. You can avoid this. There is no minus. We can avoid this. Okay. Next, what is a term? Term can be a factor or multiplication. There is no division. You can avoid this. Okay. Then what is a factor? Factor can be an ID or integer or with parenthesis. Because this is there. So we should be able to write this. So this is how we can define an expression. Okay. So this is what we can reuse for the C program as well. We can rewrite this and write the parse tree for the input. So probably you can copy this quickly because the assignment statement grammar for given example of C will comprise like this. So first one will be there, second one also will be there, but the last term will not be there. Third also will be there. Again, the last term will not be there. Fourth will be there as it is complete. Okay, so you can copy quickly, and once that is done, you can construct parse tree for the given input using this grammar and say whether it is valid or not. Since we are doing the reverse bias, taking the input then writing the grammar, obviously it should be matching, but anyhow you should be able to write the proper parse tree. So you will be given marks for writing this, which is a grammar here, 4 to 5 marks. Later maybe 2 to 3 marks for the tree that has been constructed. So while constructing the tree, construct in 2-3 forms. Don't construct a single tree. Show methodical way of constructing. So one for sum, one for plus, one for minus. So that shows that there is a gradual, what is a construction of the tree possible. So quickly copy this as a solution, which is a BNF grammar. Later you can construct the parse tree. You can also further simplify this grammar for the given statement. But this is, since we already have something in Pascal, we are reusing that. But if possible, depending upon the given input, you can further simplify. So don't be afraid, okay, I need to remember this, then only I need to reproduce for C, nothing of that sort. You can define directly. So for example, this EXP can be defined like this. It can be defined here itself. It can be term or EXP. Then what is EXP? Probably we can define it if you want to explain in terms of a recursive. So all those things you can reuse, no problem. But process you should know, because one after the other. One non-terminal having another non-terminal or a terminal as a input. At the end, it should culminate in a terminal symbol, because parse tree or any tree, the leaf nodes are going to be your terminal symbols. That care we have to take. Otherwise, you can inbuilt any levels of what you call dependency in between, or you can reduce this to 3 also. Since already there, why to waste our time? Probably we can reuse the concept. That's what we have mentioned. But grammar, you have liberty to define as per the requirements. Our requirement is already given. Sum is equal to some expression. See, for that expression, we can define the grammar. So liberty is there with you, but process you should not forget. Okay, that is keeping the non-terminal symbol in angle brackets, and every non-terminal either culminating itself into the another non-terminal symbol or having a terminal symbol. But somewhere you should be without any ambiguity, should be able to stop. That you need to take care. So once done, you can write the parse tree for that. So meanwhile, let me take the attendance. Asta?
Yes,
Abhinav?
sir.
Abhinav? Aishwarya?
Present, sir.
Ambrish?
Yes, sir.
Anu?
Present, sir.
Arbaz? Arjun?
Present, sir.
Ashok?
Present, sir.
Vinita? Bhargavi? Bhavisha?
Present, sir.
Chaitra?
Present, sir.
Chatterjee? Diksha?
Present, sir.
Deepika LG?
Present, sir.
Deepika MB?
Present, sir.
Murli Krishna?
Present, sir.
Gangubai?
Present, sir.
Guriya Kumari?
Present, sir.
Harshit?
Present, sir.
Gunjar Singh? Kavya?
Present, sir.
Kishore?
Present, sir.
Lata?
Yes, sir.
Manisha? Manjunath?
Yes, sir.
Neena?
Present, sir.
Nilanjan? Nishant?
Present, sir.
Pavitra?
Present, sir.
Maithili?
Present, sir.
Priyanka?
Present, sir.
Pawan Kumar?
Present, sir.
Akash?
Present, sir.
Rajeshwari?
Present, sir.
Rakesh?
Present, sir.
Samya?
Present, sir.
Rashmi?
Present, sir.
Ravishankar? Rizwan?
Present, sir.
Vishal?
Present, sir.
Savita? Shruti?
Present, sir.
Sneha?
Yes, sir.
Spurti?
Present, sir.
Srinidhi?
Present, sir.
Srinivas?
Present, sir.
Sunil? Vaishnavi?
Present, sir.
Vinny?
Present, sir.
Sir, Bhargavi present, sir.
Okay. Fine. If anybody has written, you can present the parse tree. Since it is asked for a parse tree, there is no rule we have to write bottom up, top down. It is not a syntax analysis. If it is syntax analysis only, we have to be worried about what method we are using. When simply it is asked to write a parse tree, you have liberty to write parse tree of your choice. Nothing to worry. Anybody can present. Whoever is ready, you can present. Who will be showing that? Just write a sparsity and show. Who will show? These are all exam questions. If you don't respond, then I will not have any confidence. And as you are all aware, semester is extended and I will be completing syllabus in 2-3 hours. Next, I am not going to teach. Each of you has to teach me what all you learnt. Get ready for all those. If you don't open up, then probably you are putting yourself into trouble. It is a time for you.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, shall I discuss?
Yes, yes. What is the expression?
So 1 minute, sir.
Sum is equal to A plus A into B plus 50.
Yes, sir, 50.
Okay. So what is the final tree?
Sir, factor,
Ah,
it is a non-term, like divided by and multiply, both are there, sir. Term into factor.
hmm.
So divide and multiply a non-terminal factor.
So you should always associate with the grammar,
Okay, sir.
right?
Okay, sir.
So where is the grammar there? Grammar is assigned like that. Okay. Your input should be at the bottom as a leaf node. And anytime you write a sum, for example, you written sum. Sum is what here? Sum is an ID.
Okay, sir.
So you should write sum, no doubt. But how is it represented? It is represented as a ID.
Assign. Okay, sir. This one some ID. That one assign. Okay.
Like that you have to write. Every time your tree should be in terms of the grammar, majorly. And your input will be given as a internal representation. Okay, I have given some is in general is an identifier. So ID. So then you can assign is equal to ID is equal to expression. Matching will happen.
Okay, sir.
That's how it should be. Can you refine?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. I'll read
Refine
it.
and present. Yes. Meanwhile, if anybody else is able to show. Who else will be able to show?
Sir, Ultimatic, I just spoke to them. She wants a mail.
Arjun, over.
Yeah, sir. Now I'll display, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, is it okay now?
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ zoom ಮಾಡು. Okay, wait, okay. And another change is whenever you write non-terminal symbols, you should always keep in the angle brackets.
Okay, sir.
Just to give clarity that you are talking about a non-terminal. So you will also have not any confusion.
Okay, sir.
So what you see at the bottom is by default is a tail, that is a leaf nodes. They are the token. They are terminal ends. You need not show anything for them. But what you write internally in the boxes, whatever the representation, better to put them in the what you call
Brace.
angle brackets.
Okay, sir.
And also don't stop at ID1. You should write some. See, don't get confused. Your grammar also should be there. Your input also should be there. Both should be there matching. If you
Okay,
simply
sir.
write grammar is of no use. You have written a positive for a grammar, but not for input.
Okay, sir. I'll write values.
So wherever
for-
ID1 is there, for example, assign statement if you are, assign there is ID equal to EXP. ID1 within below the ID1 within brackets you write SUM.
Okay,
Sum.
sir.
Then equal is already there. You need not write. Then there is a expression. What is that expression? A into B plus
B
50.
plus 50.
You make sure that A into B plus 50 is split there. So again,
Okay.
factor ID 2 is A, multiplication within parenthesis B plus 50. That is missing somehow. B plus 50 should be together. That part is missing in the parse tree. That parenthesis part is missing.
Again, I'll try, sir.
Try. I will not leave you until you give me the final figure.
Yes, sir.
Whoever it is. Anybody can show, but I want a complete diagram because it's asked in the examination. You should not be doing the same mistake again and again. And this is a very easy way to score. In all other modules, you have to write paragraphs and so much of time is wasted. When you are in compiler, whatever the time you could not get, probably you can get here, which takes less time and you can get more marks. But you should not lose the opportunity. So better to exercise.
Sir, Chaitra.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir, I wish you.
Yes.
Sir, it's visible.
It's coming. Yes. Just wait. Clarity is missing. Now, okay. Yes. Okay, let it be. Let it come. It take maybe buffering. EXP star term. Yes. That parenthesis is missing.
Okay, sir.
Parenthesis is part of a factor, no?
Yes, sir.
So that part you have to bring in.
Okay.
What others are doing? They are so quiet. Great group here. Hmm. Arjun? Chaitra?
Sir, done, sir. 1 second.
Yes.